Buenos días. La verdad es que
Good
la primera vez que
morning.
subo a un escenario a hablar.
The truth is that it is the first time that I'm on stage to speak, and I'm
Resulta curioso que
quivering.
como esta uno se pregunta cómo
It's
presentarse.
fun because sometimes you think about how introducing yourself. That's the magic question. Who am I? During the minutes to come, I'll try to answer this question, although the reality is that we spend our whole lives trying to look for our real essence.
O sea, intentamos saber quiénes
We're
somos
trying to
en
know
base
who
a
we are
quién no somos,
based
en
on
base a lo que
who
aprendemos
we are
y
not,
lo que nunca jamás desearemos ser.
based on what we don't want to be and what
Cambiamos
we are
tanto
never going to be.
que
We
quizás
change
vosotros cuando salgáis de
so much that maybe
este
when you
auditorio
leave this
seáis un poco
auditorium,
diferentes.
you are a little bit
Quizás
different.
aprendáis algo de vosotros mismos.
Maybe you learn something out of yourselves or the people that surround us,
Y lo
that
mismo pasa
surrounds you.
conmigo. Si yo
Same
preguntara
happens with me.
cómo os veíais, dónde estáis ahora mismo hace
If I
15
asked
años,
you, where do you see yourselves
quizás la
15 years
respuesta
ago?
era que no.
Well, 15 years ago
Y en mi caso
was
igual.
is very much. Maybe if I ask you, where are you going to be in 15
A un
years?
niño de
You
10
know,
años,
did you know that you were going to
en
be
el
here?
norte,
Maybe
en
it's
un
not.
pueblo del norte de África,
For
en
example,
Marruecos,
in my case, for a
la única
10-year-old
preocupación
boy that is born in
es
Morocco,
que no
in the
llueva
north of
cuando
Morocco,
salga a pastar las
the
ovejas.
only concern is
Su
that
único ocio
it doesn't rain when you go out with the
es jugar al fútbol
sheeps.
descalzo,
His
jugar
only
verticalmente,
pastime is to play football with
y
naked
así
feet,
feliz.
to play hide and
Ese niño
seek, and
no tiene
he
mayores
is
preocupaciones.
very happy. He doesn't
Ese
have any
niño
concern.
soy yo.
This child
Nací en un
is me.
pueblo entre las
I was
montañas.
born in a village
Me
between,
alegra de que
among the mountains.
Antonio Espinosa haya
I'm
hecho
happy that Antonio Spinoza
hincapié
has
en tantos millones de todos esos millones que ha
put the
hablado al
spot
principio.
on those
Todos esos
millions.
millones.
I'm part of these
Y esa
millions.
gente que no tenían agua
These
agua
people
potable,
that
esa
didn't
gente
have
que
drinkable
no tiene
water, that
electricidad en
didn't
su casa,
have
esa gente que para conseguir
electricity
agua
at home, that
tiene que
those
andar
people that to
kilómetros
get
en
water
carro,
has to walk for kilometers
en un
and
burro,
kilometers
o a pie.
on a donkey or by foot in order to get
Las cosas cambian.
water from a well.
Yo no soy parte
Things change.
de esos millones que decía de esclavos. Quizás ahora sí. Ahora sí.
Maybe I'm part of what they were calling slaves. Maybe I have this drinkable water and that's electricity, but maybe I'm a slave of a system that makes you be constantly, you wake up, you work, you go back, you take some rest, you try to take some rest, you go on to work again, and again, and it's like a circle. But let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to these years, to those 10 years that I spent in Morocco, and how I suddenly took a leap. Well, that's not my thing, of course. My father took us here from Morocco to a village in the north of Toledo, and things started to change a little bit. Do you imagine how shocked a child is when they take all your childhood from you? I mean, well, that's not the point. They bring you to a different world. So things changed dramatically. And walking through life, I have to say that, well, you know better than anybody how the education system works, how you have to do mountains of homework, etc. So can you imagine how difficult it should be to have homework and that your parents don't have can't help you with your parents, that your parents don't speak a language? The effort you have to make is double, it's triple than your classmates in order to make the grade. But your parents always push you to get what they didn't. They didn't have the chance to study, so they cheer you up. They tell you that you should study. They didn't have the chance to study. And the daily effort, that double effort that you have to make, well, thanks to you, I was able to finish my degree. And after that, I was able to. I have an business administration degree. I have an MBA in accounting and taxation, and thanks to that, I was able to work around 6 months in the Bank of Spain.
No todo era color de rosas, ¿no? En plan.
And not everything was that beautiful. Some things went well, some things went wrong. You learned out of the things that don't work, things that are going well, but you don't learn about. You learn about the things that go wrong. I had the opportunity of working at the ECB.
uno de los requisitos era
one of the requirements
papel que
was
pusiera
that
que eres ciudadano europeo.
you needed to have a piece of paper that said that you were a European citizen.
No podías
Otherwise,
trabajar, ni trabajar en una institución europea.
you couldn't work at a European institution. And it was then when
Cuando importas a ratos, te priorizan por momentos. Pero bueno, esas...
when you're important at some points in time, but just at some points.
Actualmente,
So currently,
después de ese lapsus de ese sueño frustrado, ¿no?
up to this frustrated dream of wanting to go abroad, to work abroad, I wasn't able to do it because of bureaucracy, whatever.
Sentido, o sea, acepte el victimismo y acepte la
You can
víctima
play yourself the victim.
No es culpa mía, o sea, es culpa...
So it's not my fault. Always to say that the others were wrong. Or maybe you can learn out of it and to focus on different things.
Cambié un poco, me metí al mundo de la consultoría.
I changed it a little bit. I went into the consultancy world. I've been working in the consultancy world for 3 years.
Y justamente hace 4 semanas,
4 weeks ago, I said that that was it. I didn't want anymore. I didn't want to be a slave, part of a system that it's just working, sleep, and work again, work, sleep, sleep, and work again. And I'm in a moment of my life that I'm sure that maybe you're at the same point, sorry, and I don't know what to do. And this is a situation that is aggravating, so to speak. But you walk by, I mean, you learn by walking, so to speak. So I have a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to do. And if I had to give
no inspiracionales, pero sí que
inspirational messages,
es que no existe el timing
perfecto para hacer las cosas. We don't have the perfect timing to do things. I mean, we always wait for A or B to happen, and we postpone things. So when this happens, I'll do that. I will go there. It's like waiting for everything to be perfectly aligned to do things, and this doesn't happen. We don't have perfect timing. It's about doing things now, or you don't do them. You need to take the risk. I don't know why we are so afraid of taking that leap, of being or starting a new adventure. I'm putting myself into my parents', to my father's feet, without speaking a language, without knowing how to read or how to write. He took a ticket with a fake visa. I hope that this is not going to end up at a police station. And he went out from a country to another one. And it's like, I wish I had 5 or 10% of boldness of what my father had. Now everything is that international. We can travel every single place. We are able to speak in a language, but we are afraid of taking the risk. Why? Why are we so afraid? In the end, we will learn more of our mistakes, and we learn out of our mistakes, not someone else's mistakes. We learn out of our mistakes and the experience that we acquire. Another message that I would like to convey is that we can't live without excitement. Sometimes it's really difficult, but it doesn't matter how difficult it is, because always you can trip and you can stand up again. You can trip and trip and trip, but it's always worth it to stand up again, because excitement is the engine. It's like a car without an engine. You can't go anywhere. Without excitement, you can't go anywhere. So do not forget this. You need to have this excitement. And another thing is, well, you need to know what you want. I really envy people that know what to do. I want to do this, to do that, but the vast majority of us sometimes don't know what to do. It's like you can have the best plane in the world, the best ship, the best captain, the best pilot, but if this pilot doesn't know where to go, if he doesn't know where he's going to go, what will he do? To sneak around, because he doesn't know what to do. So it's important to work on that part. What do I want to do? or where do I want to get to?
Ejercicio bastante complicado, bastante complejo
So
y
it's
bastante difícil.
quite a difficult exercise, I know,
Caminando,
but
como he dicho,
by walking and by
se puede conseguir.
walking,
Otra de las cosas,
you can make it. Another thing
siempre nos
is,
venden que, bueno,
well, we were always told that, well,
talento,
talent,
gente talentosa, quizás
talent,
1%, más o
talented
menos.
people, maybe
Yo soy
1% or
partidario
less.
de trabajo constante.
I think that constant
No me
work is
refiero con
better.
eso a que todo lo que
I
pretendas conseguir con
do
trabajo se
not,
consigue, porque eso
I'm not saying that we can do everything by with just working. That's true for some privileged ones, but not for everybody. But it's true that with if you're consistent and if you work, well, the more times you try something, the more possible it is that you accomplish it, instead of saying, well, wait, I can't do this. No. So this perseverance ends up by reaching people that has more talent and has an innate talent. And another message that I would like to, I'm going to say my remarks, my notes.
El no cargar con las expectativas de la gente.
It's like you shouldn't have.
Es que parece que en la sociedad de hoy en día,
I mean, you shouldn't have people's expectations on your shoulders. It means that you have to study, you need to have a degree, you need to have a mortgage, to have a good job, to get married. And this is what our ancestors have done, and this is what they expect from us. And we don't have to have that on our shoulders. I mean, everybody sees life in a different way. Everybody is happy in the way he is happy because the final success, well, maybe for example, your success to be a CEO, but for others, success could be to live with an easy life at a small village, at a calm village. So success is relative that depends on everybody. And if we have learned something out of this pandemic, is that life is short. Although we are even shorter. The only short ones here are us. We are here today. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? So do not leave things for later. If you have the chance of doing things, of doing something now, sometimes it's difficult because, as I was saying, well, I have quite many responsibilities, but it's like it's now or never. I mean, if you want to do something, you need to try to do it as soon as possible, because you are postponing things and we don't have a perfect timing. And I would like to share with you, to wrap up, that during this pandemic, I had time to write a book together with my colleague Fatima Sarkabi. It's a book of poetry. I would like to share a text with you that represents me right now, and maybe you can relate to it. By the way, the book is called Almas Inefables, and it says like this. Maybe you're at that point in time where you have no idea of what to do. Maybe your plans are a little bit messy, and maybe the next step is an uncertainty. Maybe during these days, you are not willing to do things, and motivation is something that is fading away. Maybe you don't want to be alone, maybe or to be surrounded by everybody, or to be at the same place as ever. Maybe you have a blurry image of what you have to do and what you expect from yourself. Maybe these words are just this, words among many others. Maybe you don't need someone to tell you, because you already know it. But let me remind you something. Nobody will be with you more than yourself. Nobody will be with you day and night to tell you what and how. We are in a society that expects from us productivity, constant progress, to know what to do in every single time, and to have an unbreakable routine. But to allow chaos to rule our lives is a right and a must for our well-being. So of course, it will come a time when you have a path to go through. We will see that clear moment. And of course, it will come. And if it wasn't for everything you're living, you would consider it exactly the same. If these words are helpful, well, you're not the only one. That's fine. Nothing will happen. You will have it clear again. In the meantime, live it, allow it to you. Thank you.